I'm doing great. It's a lot nicer up here in South Dakota than it was yesterday.
Yeah, I think it is 14 degrees right now.
Yeah, so
Like here.
yesterday morning at this time it was 7, but today it's 42. So,
Yeah, that's nice. We had a couple good days last week. I think it was like 40s. So that was really nice. Got out trout fishing. That was fun.
okay, were you like on like a stream or a creek?
I live like right next to like a class one trout stream, so it's pretty nice to literally like just walk down there and I can BFS fish, trout fish, anything. Pretty pretty fun.
Oh,
Trying to get some swim baits and get some trout fish swim baits. That'd be sick.
sick, dude. All right, well, heck, Nolan, we'll just get into it. So, just introduce yourself. Tell the people what you do because we have not had a rod builder on the episode yet.
Mm-hmm. So my name's Nolan Magee, and I build rods. I build bass rods. I build mostly summit rods at the moment, but yeah, just a fisherman at heart, and just ready to learn and always get building. So
Yeah, and you're another Midwest guy. You're up in
yeah,
Wisconsin.
yeah, up in like Wisconsin, Minnesota area, like pretty much like right on the border. So
Okay.
yeah.
How do you feel about the Packers?
I am a Vikings fan, so I'm a
Oh
Minnesota
man,
fan all the way. So yeah.
holy smokes!
Mhm.
Oh man, I I do like an Airbnb experience
Mhm.
and take people trout fishing. And this one guy from Wisconsin wanted to go out on the kayak and go bass fish, and I was like, man, and I'm a Packers fan, but I was like, I
Yeah.
should find like a Vikings shirt, just roll up like
Yeah.
in some Vikings gear.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah, the Vikings are that was my dad's favorite team, so I just went with that. But yeah, I'm a Minnesota Timberwolves fan and Vikings fan at heart.
There you go. So, how did let's just take it from the beginning. Like, how
Mhm.
did you get into fishing, and then we'll move on from there.
So pretty much like I've fished probably like since I was like 2 years old. Ever since I could probably pick up a fishing rod. Mostly like with Midwest kids. Start off with like bluegill and stuff with my grandparents up in my cabin, and then really I'd say probably around once I got teenager age, I got into like bass fishing, watching like John B, all those guys, and then really just got into like the YouTube side and looked at that stuff like that. Um and then just really got into bass fishing a lot. Went to Texas, and that was pretty much it after that. And then just got into swim baits after that. Around the probably a year ago, I started fishing swim baits full time mostly. So it's been fun after that. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know this before we started the episode, but I was
mm.
like on your Instagram, and then I was clicking your links, looking at your website, and then I was like looking at YouTube. I was like, oh shit, I've watched some of your videos before.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
watched.
that.
Yeah, I watched one of your swim bait arsenal video for
Yeah,
2024.
the swim bait arsenal video. I need to make a new one. That got a bunch of views. So I'll have to make it 2025. I got a lot more swim baits as you can see than before. So I'll definitely have to make a 2025 version.
Oh, for sure, and that's just a rabbit hole, dude, of like swim
Hmm.
baits because.
Yeah, it is. I've got a bunch of new people and stuff. So I got quite a few after that. So
Mm-hmm. So we'll get into swim baits a little bit. So you
mm.
started throwing swim baits full time like this last year. So you're just kind of doing that exclusively.
I probably throw like we have smallmouth up here, so I'll throw a top water and a jerk bait, and I'll throw some like worms and stuff every once in a while. But yeah, mostly swim baits whenever I get it out. I've been crushing on the TK lately, so I've been just fishing that in Metro. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, dude, especially like if you have a trout stream like near
Hmm.
you, some BFS glides.
Yeah, I have that. I'm trying to get one on that Gancraft 70. I got one because with my BFS reel, they gave you like $70 worth of like BFS lures, and I got that like Gancraft 70. I don't know if you've seen that one, but that one's pretty sweet. I'm trying to get. I had a couple follows on it, just haven't committed to it yet. So hopefully, trying to get one
Dude, I would say just screw the Gancraft 70.
of them.
I
Yeah.
would go an Aerobates tiny
Oh,
glide.
I've heard about those. I need to get one of those too.
Oh, it's just yeah, I would spend just a so like Aaron from Aerobates. I've had him on the Uh, dude, I would spend a little bit more money and get one of his glides. They're super stable, and
Yeah,
dude, it's the juice for
yeah,
trout.
yeah. I'm trying to get on a big trout this year. My biggest is probably 20-inch down there, and it's all like brown trout and stuff. So I'm trying to get a big brown this year. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, that's like my PB rainbow is I think 20. So
Yeah, there is a like a trout stream that has rainbows by me. I'm trying to, and I've seen a couple big ones come out of there, so I'm trying to fish swimbaits there too. Try to get some big ones.
yeah, I don't remember who said it, but somebody said like every person that throws like big swim baits has it in them to also throw BFS and just throw like little tiny lures.
Yeah, I've been trying out the BFS because I just built my own BFS rod, and I've been testing that one. It's been pretty nice. So caught a few trout already on it, but it's been very cold, so only been out a couple days. So
hmm Yeah, my buddy, we have a couple trout streams around here that stay open year round, and my buddy went and he was fly fishing and just grinding. He's like, I caught like one dinky brown trout,
yeah,
and he's
that's
like,
how it is.
he's like, I changed like flies like 17 times, and by the
Yeah,
time he was done waiting, he was like, when I got back onto like the road from the stream, he's like, I thought I was gonna fall down. He's like, it was so weird because
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
all numbed up.
yeah. It was nuts. It's been not too good fishing down there. I remember a couple days ago, I literally was BFS fishing. I probably saw 70 brown trout, and none of them even followed my bait. It was
Mm-hmm.
nuts.
So with you being into fishing, so how did rod building come about?
So when I like started, like when I got a job, my first job, I wanted to get like all these like G Loomis rods, all the other rods, and like obviously they're nice and all, but like I bought one G Loomis rod like right before I started rod building. I'm like, it's pretty nice. It's like I think it's the IMX Pro or something like that. But then my grandpa originally, like when he was younger, he used to build rods, and he's like, you should try maybe building rods because I saw that mud. I've been wanting that mud hole kit, like that. I think it's called like the starter kit or like the beginner kit,
Mm-hmm.
and I got one of those to start out with, and then it was um just building rods, and then once I like actually built my own first one, it like my life changed. Like it's so much different. Like that have a rod that you built and like have the satisfaction that you caught a fish on it, and like have it tailored to you is like my biggest thing too. Like you never really know like a custom rod and like the different it makes with like a production style rod to like a custom rod like that's tailored to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, for sure, dude. I
mm,
kind of similar. I actually did one of Mudhole's classes
mm-hmm.
and built a bass rod, and
Yeah, those are
I'm
sweet.
I'm a handful of rods deep right now that I've
Mm-hmm.
built.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah, it's addiction.
yeah, and yeah, because you can do everything exactly how you want it,
Yeah, you
and
can. It's
yeah, you could be as aesthetic as you want to, or it
yeah.
could just be
Mm-hmm.
function and form.
Yeah, because I remember like a couple rods before, like production lines. Like I like the rods, but like there's something I didn't like about them, like the handle length. But like with customs, you can do anything you want with it. Change the handle length, do anything, so it's like perfect to you, which is a major part of fishing too, and helps you. I think it helps fishing also too. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess like me, like mine personally, like I'm not selling mine. Mine are like for all personal use,
mhm.
so they're very like form and function over like aesthetic, because there'll be like there's like some little imperfections here and there. Maybe the
Yeah,
thread's
that's
not
all. That's all
not
I
tight.
got my first rod right back there.
Yeah, so I got my first BF,
Hmm. Yeah,
my
those link
BFS
grips
rod.
are those
Yeah,
link grips are sick.
oh yeah, they're super cool. And then
I think that's actually the BFS reel I got. Is that the Arc?
this is
Or
no.
no, that's the Arc. I thought it was the Arc because mine has like the same carbon fiber handle kind of thing.
Oh yeah, this is like a
But
a Dark Wolf Ultra, or
yeah,
AliExpress reel. It was pretty inexpensive, and I was like, if I'm gonna
But
get into
they,
it right away.
yeah, they work like any BFS reel probably works pretty good. So.
Oh, for sure. Um, but when I like with everything, these are the style of
Hmm.
like lure keepers that I like.
Yeah,
Is like these drop
I like
shot.
the lure keepers.
Yeah, the arrowhead ones.
I personally use the fly guides for all my swim rods, but like all my conventional rods, I use those kind of hook keepers.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can customize it like exactly how you want. I will
Hmm.
say, with this BFS rod, it's like more of a mod fast. But
Hmm.
if I was to make another BFS rod, I would definitely go like more moderate,
Yeah,
like
I
maybe
want to try to make
fiberglass.
like a. I want to make like I've seen the I know some blanks. I'll have to tell you. I got some blanks that I'm looking at right now because the ones I have that I got from my other BFS rods like a drop shot blank, so it's like a really good tip. So it still works for like treble hook baits really well. But yeah, I definitely want to try a moderate like ultralight rod. That'd be really fun. Just
Mm-hmm.
whipping that thing, so fun.
Oh yeah, dude. The biggest like pain in the ass though with this rod is so since it's like a small blank,
Yeah.
and then I used micro guides.
Yeah, micro
What
guides.
what a pain in the
Yeah,
butt to
they
like wrap those.
I've tried wrapping ice rods, and I don't know if I'm just doing it wrong, but it is. I like stopped doing them because I literally couldn't do it anymore. It was such a pain.
Oh, just
But
with
yeah, it's pretty nice wrapping the bigger swim bait rods now with not having to do those micro guides anymore or anything like that. So
mm,
a lot easier to wrap.
yeah. There's definitely like benefits to it, but I would
Yeah, it
I would
definitely sheds the weight, but it's definitely takes a long time to do it. So.
yeah. It's I don't think it's something that I would do again. But yeah, definitely like I don't know, cause like some of the streams that I'm fishing are like not terribly big. I
Yeah.
feel like this is better suited for kind of like a bigger stream or a lake setup or like a
Yeah,
pond.
I built mine for mostly like smallies, like Lake Smallmouth, maybe some more open stream smallmouth. There's not really anything near me with that, but like just, but it's been pretty good for trout, not gonna lie. So been just
Mm,
using that for trout at the moment with all the smallies, not being there with the ice out.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I would next time. I definitely want it like more kind of true to like the BFS you'd see in Japan, where it's like more
Yeah, that's
parabolic.
exactly what I want. I'm a JDM guy all the way, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah, one of the guys that I took out fishing for my Airbnb trip, dude
Hmm.
was a hammer, and he had a whole box of Megabass X70s,
Oh, those
and
are
he was
sweet.
like yeah, here like this will be your tip here. You could pick out whatever color you want.
Yeah, those are sweet.
Yeah,
I
cause
need to get some of those for a trout down here.
oh for sure, dude. Like I've caught some big ones on that already. Like it's a sweet jerk bait, and like it casts really
Yeah,
well.
those mega bass jerk baits cast like a bullet. That's crazy.
Oh, for sure, dude. Um, so between you like starting rod building, how did it come about for you to start making custom rods for other people?
So it really started around like just some people I'd meet. I made one for my old boss. Made one for my dad, and then making one for my grandpa this year. But I didn't really start selling till probably the start of last year, maybe summer. Start of summer probably. Made my first swim rod for a customer in like June, July ish, and then it just went from there. Now I got 5 customer rods doing right now this week, so been it's been picking up, and I'm very grateful for it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
been fun meeting all the new people and stuff.
Oh, for sure. With you starting to go into like making orders and stuff, do you have a power wrapper?
Oh yeah, I got the power
Oh,
wrapper.
I,
I had to get it.
I was gonna say like you probably
I
have to
got
have
that
that.
probably in the December of my. 'Cause I started wrapping rods August 2022, and I think I got it maybe for Christmas. I just used all my Christmas money. I'm like, I'm gonna be doing this with all my personal rods, so might as well get one. So I just started with that. So it's been great ever since.
Hmm. No, like I want to backtrack a little bit because like something that you said.
Hmm.
So you said you picked up like a G Loomis rod.
Yeah.
Those are
Hmm.
kind of
Yeah, they are
what you consider like top
higher end.
tier,
Yeah,
yeah,
like top
reputable,
end.
yeah,
Uh huh.
reputable brand. I went into a um, I went into our local Shields,
Yeah.
and this was like right after had been building rods for a little bit,
Yeah.
and just doing my own. And I was picked up this St. Croix rod, and I'm like, oh, it's a nice rod. It's
Yeah. Uh huh.
got good components on it. But then like you like really start to hone in, and I was looking at the thread wraps. And I'm like,
Oh,
I was
I
like,
gotta tell you something. So I went to this one store that has like higher end stuff, and it was a Shimano Conquest rod that the price tag's $800 on that thing, and I looked at the wraps, and I think my first rod was like on par with that wrap with those wraps. I'm like,
mm-hmm,
what? And I'm like, someone's gonna buy this too, and it's just like, as a rod builder, looking at that, like the handle looked pretty good because obviously it's a production rod, so it's gonna look clean with that. But like, I'm looking at the wraps and like, I can't believe someone's gonna buy this, and it's like $800, which is crazy.
mm-hmm,
Nuts. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you really hone in on that stuff when you start building your own.
Oh, for sure. When you start like having like that,
Uh
like kind
huh.
of attention to detail, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, some
Uh
of
huh.
these are. I was like, this isn't packed in very tight.
Yeah. It's not. It's
And then,
crazy how different they are.
dude, my favorite
Like
though.
I would lose sleep over that. It's
Oh, yeah, my favorite thing though is if you look at like I don't remember the brand, and um, but you look at like some of the super budget like ice
yeah.
rods that
Hmm.
have like maybe
Yeah.
two or three guides,
Yeah, they
and
have
you
like two
look
guides on
down
them.
and
Yeah,
they're
they're
like
like,
this.
yeah,
Oh man, yeah.
it's crazy.
Well, and it's like, so that's like the part that I spend the most time on. Like, I don't
Uh
have a
huh.
laser, but I'll
Yeah,
just like sit
yeah,
and I'm looking at down
yeah.
that
Me too.
rod.
Me too. Like I'll sit there, and literally just look down the rod. I'm like, I literally can't even like, if one if it even looks off, I'll literally like sit there for an hour and try to get it right. It's the attention to detail is like insane once you start building
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I'll be inside and I'll look and I'm
rods.
like,
Yeah.
well, let me try a different lighting and I'll go
Yeah,
outside and I'll look.
that's what I did last night. I'm like, so I got it right, and then like I'll look at a different lighting. I'll see what it is on the bend or like something like that. I'll sit there for like the whole time and look and just get those stuff right. And
Mm-hmm.
like when you get a production rod, it's just like this, or like they don't even care. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're just pumping stuff out.
Yeah, they are. Hmm.
Well, and then like after you start building rods and when you like really get into like reel seats, guides, all of that
Yeah,
stuff, and you start looking and you look at production rods and you're like, oh, they're using this guide. It's like,
yeah,
oh, those are. That's where they. That's where they're trimming the budget at is
yeah. They
with
are.
these guides or different stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah, you can see it's pretty cool to see that you literally know pretty much that whole rod part list once you look at it. It's pretty cool after you do it for a while.
Mm-hmm. So why don't you just kind of take us through because like you and I know, but like take people through like the process of you building a custom rod, like how it all starts from like getting
So
an order from a
if
customer.
I get like an order, I'll just ask them like what they are thinking about it and like what kind of colors and stuff, and then I'll go to the sites for like blanks and stuff, and I'll be like, oh, they want say you wanted like a 1 to 6, which is like my most popular one, and you wanted like purple and gold wraps on it. I can get there's like probably 4 different purples. I'm like, what purple do you want? And then there's other golds. I'm like, what gold do you want? And then like the reel seat, I've been using these custom painted reel seats. I don't know if you've seen them, but they've been pretty cool, and you can do so much colors with them, which is cool about that. It really makes it custom, not just like a plain black or just a gray reel seat. It really brings the light out and of the rod, and then like what grips they want, if they want like core, carbon fiber. I've been using these new heat shrink grips a little bit too. Been experimenting with that. Done a couple nice ones of those. But yeah, it just doing that, and then once all the parts come in, takes around like 1 to 3 weeks to come in, maybe. Just depends on what the blanks come in, but the parts usually come in pretty fast. And then you just get the blank, and then remount the grips, glue it up, and then get it all right on the spine and everything, and then wait for it to dry, and then put the guides on, and then epoxy it up, and then get a couple of layers on there, and she's ready to go. And ship her off.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's touch on that because that's like one thing with like when you learn rod building
Yeah.
and everything is like building your rod like on
Yeah.
the spine of the rod.
Yeah.
Because if you go to like, because I've done this at the store
Yeah,
too, where I'm like
exactly with that, where you're looking at the spine and it's like way off. Like when you check the spine, the real seat's like this, and the spine's on this. It's like they just because with the production rods they build on the straightest axis, which you can get like mostly I've heard from other rod builders that building on the straightest axis isn't horrible, but it's like I personally build on the spine and I haven't had any problems with it. But sometimes the spine, like the rod, will, like curve a different way, so it looks like the guides are a little off, but they're not. It's just running with the rod. But with the production rods, they go straight on the axis, so the guides look good and straight all the time. So that's what they do. But yeah, the spine's usually off on the production rods because they don't care if it breaks; they'll just replace it with their $30 thing or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just so like the listeners and the viewers know, so like when a rod blank is made, like that whole process, there's this point on the rod where when you like
it like bends the most, kind of.
Yeah,
It
so
has
like,
usually around two spines is where it snaps into place, and then you just pick the one that is the hardest, and then that's usually will have the strongest point of the rod is where it's usually, and that's where you put the guides on.
yeah, and according to the like the rod builders that I like learned from at Mudhole, the instructors, they're like, this is gonna give you the like the strongest rod and the most potential out of the rod.
Yeah, it really does.
Have you experimented with some of the I know like some other like custom rod like swim bait rod builders do the acid wrap?
Yeah, I think I've done two of those, and then one I'm experimenting with my BFS rod, acid wrapped. I don't know if it'll make a difference with the BFS rod, but I just wanted to try it out myself and see if it makes a difference. But yeah, I've had a couple of people say I personally don't have any experience with swim bait rods personally, but it felt really good test casting. So, and I've heard with like torque and everything that that's how it works, and also less guides on the rod too with acid wrap. So.
Um, so, cause I've never tried it personally.
Yeah.
I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard like saltwater people are like, oh, you like that's what you need because of like how much power like those saltwater species have.
Yeah.
And then I've heard the other side where it's like, oh, like it's not really applicable to like freshwater because unless it be
what
like
I've
musky
heard
or
too.
something.
I've heard it's like a gimmick. It doesn't really do anything, but I mean, I haven't really gone into it that much. I definitely have to maybe build my own and see if it really makes a difference. But I've heard it makes a difference, so I'm just gonna do that. So whatever the customer wants, if they want acid wrap, I'll do it acid wrap. Or if they want traditional guides, I can do traditional guides. Whatever they think would fit them.
Yeah, I feel like it would. I feel like it could be applicable to like BFS or like ultralight fishing just because you have a super light rod and like around here it's like you could still catch like a pretty big
fish. You can hook up to a big. That's what I'm thinking too with the BFS rod is if I hook into a big trout, it's not gonna like turn. Because I've talked to people that fish for big trout and they said you'll get dogged on a regular BFS like ultralight rod. Like you'll just get throttled by it. If you hook onto like a 25 plus inch, definitely you'll just throw it. So maybe it works with acid wrap and see if that works out. But I haven't hooked a big one, so I guess we'll see until that happens. But it'll definitely be something to try out.
For sure, dude. Um, with an acid wrap, because I'm not super familiar,
Yeah.
does the orientation of like left, like somebody that's left or right-handed, that dictates how the guides start to spiral under?
Yeah. So, I've done it both ways. Like, I mostly fish lefty, so I had a guy that fishes righty, and he wanted the acid wrap. So I think it was the opposite or something. Like I was fishing with, test casting my left, and it's still test casting really good. So I don't know if it makes a different cast, like casting it, but it might make a difference, like setting the hook or like casting the way you cast with like the right hand or the left hand. But I think either way, I think it works out. But I haven't really gotten to the acid wrap stuff. I just do whatever they want to do, like what side they want it. But I really need to. I'm gonna probably start looking into that and see if it really makes a difference, like what it goes under and like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and just so like the viewers are aware, so like acid wrap is like when you have a bait casting rod, but then so your rods start like your guides start
Yeah,
on the
it starts
top.
normal and then it like goes around the blank and then it's all under guides like a spinning rod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what? If anything, they kind of look fucking cool.
Yeah, they look pretty cool. So if if they say it's a gimmick, it looks pretty cool. So it's for the aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That's the only thing that matters. You just gotta look cool while you're out
Yeah,
there.
you just gotta have the cool swim rod on the. It'll make you a better fisherman.
Um, with shoot, I had it, but then it went away. Um, here, we'll just kind of go into the next part. So you said with your, uh, it takes 1 to 3 weeks for ordering components.
Yeah.
For my swim bait rod, this handle, this was the freaking. It took the longest time to get.
Is that NFC? I'm guessing.
Yeah, this is a North Fork composite.
I've dealt with blank shipping from there a long time. I have recently switched blank companies, and I haven't turned back because I really having your customers wait 3 months just for a blank is not ideal. So I've currently switched companies now with that. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Just waiting, and they don't give any updates or anything. So
oh, for sure. And I wasn't
waiting there.
I wasn't
it's crazy
too...
that even the handles are take a long time. Like I think that like I listen to Senko Sticks a lot, and he said like even the carbon fiber grips take a long time, and that's like weird.
Yeah, for sure. They always have like good sales though, and
yeah,
whatever.
They have a quite a bit of sales, and I think that really drives the orders up, and that they just get swamped with orders. From what I hear, is they just get swamped, and then they can't do it for a while.
Yeah, no, like I really enjoy this grip. It did take quite a while to get.
Yeah, the carbon fiber grips are sick.
Oh, they're so cool.
I got one that's kind of like that. This is my first swim rod I ever built. I got this one off one hole. This one's like that. That aluminum. Those seats. These are pretty sweet. But yeah, this one's like an 18-inch. But this one was hard to build because you know how like the seats, like the grips have that like foam in the middle.
Yeah.
That one was fully hollow.
Oh.
So I had to like arbor the whole thing. And with that one, it's tapered. So that was like, so I had to like make the rod like 3 inches bigger. So that's an A3. So that one was quite a bit of pain, but it looks pretty cool. So that was my first ever swim bait rod I built. So.
Yeah. So this is a swim bait rod that I built. So this is a 7-Eleven on a mud hole swim bait blank, 1 to 4 ounce. It's pretty sweet. It's like moderate fast. So, but. Yeah, I wanted to go with this grip. I wanted a full length grip, but I like split grips, but I didn't want to split grip on a swim bait rod.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I kind of cheaped out on the Real C. It's just a CRB one, but
I've used those before. They're pretty nice.
yeah, they're pretty nice. And then Corrado
Yeah.
with the Gomexis handles.
Corrado.
These are sweet. The
Yeah, I've heard
Gomexis
about
flat
those.
knobs,
I've heard they're pretty cool.
kind of the
Pretty good.
DRT knockoffs, if you will.
DRT-esque.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been a pretty legit swim bait rod. For not having like a production rod. I think I did A-okay, and then I did some kind of like the premium mud hole guides on them.
Mm-hmm. Are those the LZR guides, I think, right? Maybe?
Something like that. When you like buy them, they come in like a little wood box.
Yeah, I think that's what they are. Is the LZR guides. I've used those before on like conventional rods.
Yeah, I did like the mediums or whatever they
Yeah.
kind of like a heavier duty guide, but I didn't want to do like huge like double foot guides or anything like that. I didn't think it was necessary.
I use double foots all the way up now personally because that's what the customers like. But I personally do good decent with single foots, so I haven't had problems with single foots. But on all my rods now, I do double foots. Just to have that extra power, I guess.
Yeah, so I stole one of my great uncle's old fishing rods from his garage, like way back when I was in like high school or middle school, and it's like this old Garcia, like Abu Garcia rod, and it's ultralight. I think it's fiberglass. It's super whippy, and it's like perfect for trout. But it had big like steel double foot guides on it, and
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and like big old full length grip and aluminum reel seat. It was just like a heavy rod, and I was like, I want to switch it up, so I tore it down to the blank and redid it, split like cork split grips, really light guides on it, and that thing's friggin' sweet now.
Yeah, that's sweet. I always want to try to rebuild a rod, like just take everything off and then rebuild it. That'd be pretty sweet.
Oh, it's kind of a chore, but
yeah, I've heard that, but it'd be pretty sweet to just redo pretty much a whole rod that like is your favorite blank or like something like that.
One thing that was really cool so it was aluminum reel seat, but the arbors for the reel seat were cork. So
that's sick.
Yeah, that was
cool.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. I wasn't able to reuse them, but I think that was the kind of the biggest pain in the butt is it had the full length cork grip, and you basically just had to break it off and
you pretty much do. Yeah,
scrape it down to the blank.
Yeah, scrape it down, sand it down.
Because otherwise, like the guides were super easy to do because you just heat them up and they're able to take them off and lightly sand it down. So do you have people coming in for you for like rod repair?
I haven't had much yet. I might be repairing my buddy's dad's rod, but I haven't had much repairing stuff yet. Because there's not really much people around me that like bass fish like this. More chop fishermen like in this city, so I haven't really done much rod repair. I definitely want to maybe get into it. We'll have to see with that.
So what would you say has been like some of would have been like your difficulties with having this business and making custom rods?
Maybe just like finding people, and then probably just having wait times too, and then just having it be a one-man show, pretty much doing everything by myself. So trying to figure out, maybe my friend helped me out a little bit, but it's just basically a one-man show. So I'm like just doing all the marketing, all the rod building and everything, but it's been going pretty well. So I haven't had much like hard times with it yet. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been pretty good.
That's good. And especially if you got like, oh, people that you can talk to and
Hmm.
stuff like that help you out because you mentioned Senko sticks. That
Yeah,
dude's makes some
yeah,
sick rods, dude.
yeah. They make some dope rods. I've been watching them ever since I really started. I think I started because of them, just seeing them and like, oh, I can build rods. That's pretty sweet. So, they're really kind of like a idol of mine that I want to reach someday. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they make some dope stuff.
For sure, dude. And like their hammers too. Like
Mm,
Alex
yeah,
and his
Alex and
fiance.
Jen they're pretty good tournament fishermen. So just them having the tournament background and just being hammers alone, like I know they like with me personally, I can feel what they say is you don't really fish much when you build rods, but they can still get it done on tournament day. So
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really matter.
For sure. And like you said, you've talked to him. I've talked to Alex too when I've had like rod building questions, and I'll ask him different things, and he's super receptive and
Yeah,
super
they're all
helpful.
really nice. They help me with shipping rods, like how they do shipping, because I had a lot of questions on shipping because obviously I never shipped a rod before, so they help me a lot with that
Mm-hmm.
on how they do it personally.
So with your shipping, are you using PVC tubes?
Yeah, PVC 3-inch PVC tubes.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite expensive, but I'd rather have it get there than be broken in half and have to go down that insurance rabbit hole.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you don't want to end up on like one of those
Yeah,
pictures on like
you know,
Swimbait Universe where the
you do not
shipping
want to.
tube is 90
Yep,
degrees over.
I've seen those. It's not fun.
Oh, okay. So I've worked at UPS for
Mm,
like during a busy season, like during the
yeah.
holidays,
Mm,
and yeah, you're not gentle with shit. You're just trying to get stuff done.
yeah, I've seen. I had one there around Christmas time that took forever to get in. Like I was stressing. Like I think it took. I shipped it out December 1st, and I think it got there maybe December 24th.
Wow.
And I paid priority too. And because I saw a picture on Summit Universe of the stuff you're talking about around the busy season where it's just a warehouse full of stuff. So I'm like, it's definitely at one of those and just sitting there. So I guess that's what happened. Filed a report and they finally found it, which was nice. It was I don't know how you could lose a 8 foot PVC pipe, but obviously they couldn't find it. But they found it eventually, and it got there. But yeah, shipping has been crazy around these times.
Yeah. Well, I just have this small post office in
Mm,
the little town we're living in,
yeah,
and uh, I ordered a rod blank, and uh, they just put like a slip in your uh, PO box, and so you bring the slip into the office. I'm like, hey, like here you go. This is like picking up my package, and they're like, oh, well, we can't find it. And I'm like, are you sure? It should be like 6 feet tall.
yeah.
And they're like,
It's not
oh,
that hard to see. It's a 8 foot PVC pipe, and you can't tell me anything about it. Like,
yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, I know where that is. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
good deal, because I was,
As soon as you say that, they remember it.
oh yeah, it's like you can't miss this. It's
Yeah,
huge.
it's not that hard to it's not that hard to miss.
um, so with shipping and everything, um, I know I've heard like stuff of there being like once you get a certain length, you have to pay like just crazy like shipping
Yeah,
costs.
I think it's so right now, I haven't had a package over 8 foot one, but I hear that like if I were to ship that 8 foot three rod, it'd probably be very expensive. Right now, it's probably around $50 to ship a 8 foot rod around there. Just depends on where it's shipping, but around $50. And then the PVC pipes $20, so around $70. But I'm trying to use PayPal right now with shipping. That saves a little bit of shipping too. So yeah, shipping is nuts right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've heard like horror stories of people like trying to like buy blanks or they're buying a
Yeah,
custom rod, and it's like, dude, I've had to pay like it was like over
yeah,
a
it's
hundred
it's
dollars or something
it's an
crazy.
ungodly amount. Like it's crazy. Like I'd rather drive down there and grab the blank. Like It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Oh, for sure, dude. Um, so as far as your like the blanks and components and everything goes, where are you sourcing those out from?
So I've been using this new company called, well, I think they're a couple years old, but Striker blanks is
Okay.
what I've been using. Their swimbait line's pretty good. I also built my BFS rod on their blanks, but they've been really good and they're pretty affordable. Not they're pretty like really good. They're probably compared really good with NFC. So I've been using those and they've been very good. So that's my full swimmet line right now is striker rods. And then voodoo rods is usually where I get all my components and stuff. So I get wholesale with them after you spend $100, so it can't really go wrong if you get 50%, 15% off every order. So I mostly get all my stuff off there for like
Mm-hmm.
parts and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, since I've done that rod hole class, or like the mud hole rod building class,
Yeah.
um, I'm not building anybody rods besides
Uh-huh.
maybe some friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, all my stuff besides like a few components will come from mud hole. But I've ordered I've ordered a rod. I built a rod for my nephew, and it was a painted rod. Oh, it's from Rod Geeks.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a rod builder guy that builds off Rod Geeks. I built a really nice trout rod with that light action blank. I think is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they make some pretty nice blanks.
Yeah, I built my nephew like it was like maybe like a 7 foot medium, but it was just like it's like his favorite color is red, so it was just red on red with
Yeah, red
like
on red.
black guide wraps,
Hmm.
which when you're trying to make something nice for somebody and you have a
Yeah,
colored blank like that, it's like I gotta pack
yeah.
these tight.
I know exactly what you're talking about. With I'm doing I don't know if you've seen under wraps, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like a underwrapped rod and it's white underwraps with black thread over. So I had to pack that thing pretty tight so there's no white showing under. So
Mm. Me personally, it's my least favorite part of rod building is like doing the guides and wrapping.
yeah, it takes a while. I've started to like it a little bit because I just sit there and jam out to music the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to kind of like it a little bit. It looks pretty cool with all the colors now, but I mean it takes a little bit. But now with the power wrapper, it's not as tedious and like once I'm like starting to get used to it now, wrapping like I wrap this way now instead of this way, and it's starting to get a lot better. I think I wrapped a whole rod in I think 2 hours last night, so
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely cuts the time down when you start wrapping them consistently. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
With this is a good question. With your under wraps, are you doing those on your swim bait rods with the double foot guides?
yeah, that's the double foot guides all the way up. I have a friend that he fishes all my rods now, and he's one of my closer friends now, and he fishes swim baits a lot like me, and he gets under wraps on all his rods.
Mm-hmm.
They're quite tedious to make, but it looks pretty cool when it's done. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
happy with it.
yeah. Why don't you explain like what an under wrap is to people?
So under wrap is so I'll go get a guide. So here's like a double foot guide is and mostly with like conventional rods they're gonna have like a single foot, but these double foots are two and it's like let's see if I can get close. But so it has these right here is the regular wrap, but on under wrap is there's like like I did on the white, there's white under like the guide, and then you wrap the black over. Well, you put epoxy down and then wrap the black over like this, so there'd be a full white thread under it. And it takes a little bit to do. You got to get it right, but I think it looks pretty cool and adds really a custom aspect to it because not you don't see any production rods doing that really. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also like super popular
Hmm.
in the saltwater scene is having under
Yeah,
wraps on your double
I
foots.
all the saltwater rods I see, I want to try to do the dragon scale under wraps. Those look sweet. I've done a couple dragon scales, and those look pretty sweet. But definitely want to maybe try a dragon scale under wrap. We'll see if that ever makes it way.
Um, oh, that's a whole nother side of like
Yeah, it's
custom
a
rod building is
whole
getting
other
into
side.
the decorative wraps.
Mhm. Yeah, I have a so that rod builder guy that lives in my town. He is all decorative wraps. He taught me how to do that diamond style wrap. I should have brought that rod, but it's in my basement. I'll have to send you a picture of it. But it's like a full wood handle with epoxy over it, and then it has that diamond wrap with the metallic. It looks really sweet. But he can do like American flags in the thing. He can do fish in the thing. It's sweet. He's on like the other side of what I do. Is he does all decorative stuff. It's pretty sweet.
Hmm.
Definitely takes a long time. I've done it a couple times, and it takes a while, but it definitely looks pretty cool when it's
Oh, for sure. I follow this lady on TikTok. I
done.
can't remember her handle right now, but she does rods, but she also does
Hmm.
pool cues,
Yeah.
and she'll be doing decorative wraps on pool cues, like pool
Hmm.
sticks, and she just has a wad of tag
Yeah.
ends that she's
Yeah.
cutting
Uh
at the
huh.
end. I'm just like, that's insane. I could
Yeah. It's
never.
nuts how much thread goes into that one little that like one wrap that's like this big, and it's like there's like probably 2 carriages of thread almost. It's crazy.
Oh, the fanciest I get is I'll do little trim bands at the ends,
Yeah,
or I'll
that's
do
that's what I do right now, is
yeah.
trim bands, and that's all I do because I cannot be doing that when I'm making five rods in 2 weeks. It's quite time consuming.
Yeah,
Those decorative stuff.
or I'll do like a little, um, kind of like a little spiral inside.
Mhm.
That's as
Yeah,
fancy as I get.
yeah. I've done a couple dragon scales, and those are pretty sweet. But you have to really have a power upper to have its full potential. But those are pretty sweet. I haven't done one in a while, but they look pretty sweet when it's done.
I don't remember what it's called, but have you experimented with like the? It's like marbling or something. It's kind of the.
I actually just got a bunch of marbling pigment. I'm gonna try whenever I build a rod for myself. Doing marbling stuff. I got a bunch of ideas with that. Making like a gold marble. That'd be pretty sweet. Like a gold dust with gold glitter. I think that'd be
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some people that do cool stuff with that.
pretty cool.
Um, with your custom rods, do you include like all of the like information on the rod, like with the sticker?
Yeah,
Are you writing that out?
I have my own label printer now. I just got one a couple months ago. It's been a lifesaver. But yeah, I print out my own labels now and get them all going on there so I can put. Just depends on what they want. If they want the specs on the rod, I'll put the specs on the rod. I usually do, but if they don't, they just want some regular decals, I'll do that too.
Yeah, like with the rods I built. Oh, they'll come with like the spec
Yeah, they'll
sticker.
come with that little specs thing that comes with a blank.
Yeah, I have not. I have them on like two of my rods, but like my other rods, I don't have them on. But I got a spare reel right now, so I gotta build another rod. The fanciest I get with decorations or decals is so on a couple of my rods, like Senko Sticks does like the
Yeah,
mermaids. I was like, oh, that's
yeah,
kind of
uh huh.
cool. Naked mermaid on my rod.
Yeah, my friend Sebastian with I don't know if you've seen him, but Swimbaits all day that makes the shirts and stuff. I should have worn mine today, but he did he made I made a collab rod with him with it was a Swimbaits all day rod, and he put his sticker on it. That was pretty sweet.
Swim baits all day. That sounds super familiar. I
Yeah,
feel like I
you,
follow him.
yeah, he's pretty he does a lot of stuff with homeless fishermen. But yeah, he makes some sweet stuff. I'll actually show you the sweatshirt I got from him. I'll actually put it on. He did this Roman made mother thing.
Oh, that is
single,
sweet.
and then swim baits all day on the thing, and then you put a glide bait on one of the sleeves. Yeah, you got a glide bait on the sleeve.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
he makes some really good stuff. He's making me a river rat Magee custom river rat shirt right now, so that's gonna be pretty sweet once I get
Oh, that'd be really cool. Oh, he actually follows the podcast Instagram,
that.
Sebastian.
Yeah,
Sweet.
he's a great dude.
Yeah, his stuff is pretty sweet.
Yeah, he
Um,
makes some dope stuff.
and then you're wearing the throwback hat, but
Mm,
uh oh, I know the one guy from up in Minnesota, like it's
mm,
Midwest Swimbaits.
mm.
Doesn't he fish your rods?
Yeah, he
Isaac?
MW Swimbaits. Yeah,
Yeah.
Isaac. He's one of my best friends. He lives actually. I met him at the throwback tournament last year, and he got the first Mickey custom swim rod, and he lived like 10 minutes from me. So we became great friends over the summer, and we fished I think every weekend since. So it's been great. But yeah, he fishes all my rods, and that under wrap rod I was talking about, that's for him.
Mm.
So
Oh,
yeah.
that's sick, dude. Well, especially if you have somebody that
Yeah.
like-minded, also will like
Mm.
throw swim baits all day with you.
Yeah, it's really fun because there's not much, let alone bass fishermen, but let alone swimbait fishermen near me. There's not much, and Isaac's really he taught me a lot about swimbaits also. So it's really cool to see someone that can experiment with me and really test out the rods that is on hand with me. So that's really
Mm-hmm. So how was the throwback tournament?
Oh, it was great. That was my first ever tournament I ever fished. So it was. I think we got eighth. I was fishing with my friend, my best friend from school. That was his first day fishing swim baits, so had to teach him a little bit. But he caught one on the Oshikana, and then I caught three on the TK. That was my first day fishing the TK also, so that was pretty sweet. But yeah, it was a fun tournament. Got some sick baits, and I'm gonna have a. I just got a text from Doug saying that they're gonna have some rods in there. So he said he wants one of my rods in like the top places. So that's gonna be pretty sweet. And then the new Freezer Bass Off tournament, or like not new, but I'm gonna be a vendor at that Freezer Bass Off tournament next week. So that's me. Pretty
Oh, that would be cool. So
sweet. Yeah.
you already got some rods made for that?
I got one made for to sell, and then I got one for the raffle. I just been busy with custom rods right now, but um, gonna hopefully get some next year, like a full line. But yeah, just gonna have one for sale. It's me a limited edition River Rat, so that's been pretty sweet.
Oh, that would be cool. Um, so what would be like your goal moving forward with the company? Because you say
So
like Seiko Sticks, he's kind of an
mm,
inspiration to you,
yeah,
and he kind of has his customs, but then he also
yeah,
has like some production
yeah,
rods that he does,
yeah.
like
That's what I'm
production.
trying to build out right now is the production line. But it's kind of hard right now with it just being me, not having a long wait time for the customs. So trying to build it kind of with the production line. But yeah, the customs still gonna be the main key right now. But trying to build out, I'm got the River Rat ready. I got it pretty good. That's my favorite rod right now. I love that rod, and that's gonna be like a production style custom rod. And then just trying to get a whole line of those with the striker ones that I use. So if you don't want a custom, you can get a little bit of cheaper production line, but trying to find grips and stuff with that to make it like affordable and also good. So
Mm-hmm.
been it's been pretty cool, but yeah, it's definitely growing and learning. So but yeah, definitely the goal is to have a bunch of rods out and have a custom line and a production line by the end of next year or this year. So just
Hmm.
keep building every day.
Yeah. Well, that'd be cool because you could have, you got your customs, and then
Mhm.
you can try to keep like a
Yeah.
couple rods like on your website or
Hmm.
something like that.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody didn't want to, because
Mhm.
you gotta you when you order a custom rod, it's like you gotta wait. Like,
Yeah, you gotta wait a little bit. I'm pretty fast at building, but it's still obviously when I got a lot of customers, it's still gonna take a while to get one. So having a production line would be pretty sick. But right now, it's just a full like customizable thing. I can actually probably screen share it. I have it on my website right now. So so this is my river rat. This is the 1 to 3. Can you see it good?
yep, it's screen sharing right now.
So this one comes with most of my standard stuff. Comes with a super grade cork, and then my gloss black pan reel seat. And then what I like about this is you can customize the handle length, and
Okay.
that's a big thing with that. So I got 14, 16, and 18. And then say they wanted, I got a couple color options for main thread color and then metallic trim. They wanted icy blue, copper, gold, anything like that. So that's the idea for the custom line or like the production line is doing it like that and having like a production line that you can customize because I think that really fills a hole in the production line where like most of these product obviously down the road probably if I get bigger and bigger I'll have like actual like production rods, but I like the production custom side of it where you can customize the whole rod and not have to do the custom stuff. If you want like just a regular cork rod but you can customize the thread color, handle length, and the trim, pretty basic stuff, but it makes a pretty good difference I feel like.
Oh yeah, that makes a big difference, especially like your
Mm.
personal preference on,
Yeah.
handle length.
Hmm.
Because I don't know, me personally, like I don't know, I don't like a super long
Yeah.
handle.
Yeah, I personally like it like to my elbow is probably my
Mm-hmm.
favorite. Is like that's my river rat is. I know people like the big long handles for swim rods, but I personally like just like a 16-inch handle. It's probably my sweet spot for it.
Mm-hmm.
But probably a 16 and 18-inch handle once you get into the bigger rods, but that's probably like the sweet spot for
Yeah,
me personally.
yeah. Like I don't remember what this is, but like this is a good length. Like it, with how I grip it, it comes
Yeah.
back to the elbow.
Hmm.
But when you're here in the Midwest and it's fucking cold out and you got
Yeah.
layers on, like
Hmm.
a longer handle like snags up on your jacket and
Yeah,
stuff
it
like
does.
that.
Yeah, I
Oh,
do quite a bit of winter fishing because we have that power plant. I don't know if you've seen that, but that's where the Freeze Your Bass Off tournament is.
okay.
Is that like power plant in Monticello? And I mean, it's an hour and 15 minutes away from here, so don't get to fish it much often, but it's pretty fun to go up there in the winter and actually like cast a line for smallies. Went there last week and we caught and with Isaac and we caught he caught one or two and then I caught one in the TK, so that was pretty fun
Mm-hmm.
because it was pretty decently warm that day too, so it was really nice.
What what color of TKs are you running?
The queen. That's my.
Oh, the
I still
queen.
have that personal one that I fish, and it's very. I'll show you. It's very rashed up, but it's like this thing is pretty rashed up, but it is
Oh.
being fished to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely my favorite bait, and then the river rat and the zillion is just the best combo. Is the river rat? That's my favorite TK rod ever. It's sweet.
Oh, for sure. And that's your 1 to 3 ounce rod.
Yeah, 1 to 3 ounce.
Oh, that's like perfect for a
Yeah,
TK.
it's perfect.
Um, and then I noticed you got the toxic canine behind you and the toxic gill.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just got that one end of summer and I need to fish that. I'm trying to build me a 1 to 6 and that's like the perfect K9 rod when I was testing it. I put a video of me test casting Michigan Bass Fans 1 to 6 and it's perfect for the K9 rod. But yeah, that thing's pretty sweet and got it for a pretty good deal. So definitely gonna get fish this
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had a couple of K9s and the so like this mud hole rod or this blank. It's 1 to 4 ounces. So like a low flow K9.
year.
It's
Hmm.
like rated for is like a little bit over 4.
Yeah.
and so like this rod can handle it, and I don't know, I'm just not like the biggest. I don't. I like TKs a lot.
Yeah.
I think you're one way or the other. It's like you either really like TKs or you really
Yeah,
like
that's
canines.
what I personally fish the TK like all day, so I love the TK. So, my Isaac fishes the K9 a lot. He loves the K9, but he's also a TK fanatic. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but he caught a muskie on the DRT Shiner, the Swimbait Underground one.
Mm-hmm.
He that was a sweetie. It ate boat side. Like he was, we were on Minnetonka, and we were casting on this point where it usually has a bunch of muskie, and because we didn't catch fit like bass all day, it was a rough day. Um, and we were just trying to get a muskie before dark, and he was, like when you have like a bunch of weeds on your bait and you just slap the water for it.
Mm-hmm.
So he was doing that, and a muskie ate it both side doing that. It was the
Jesus.
sickest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. It was nuts,
Oh
but yeah,
man.
he loves the K9. I definitely want to try to fish it a little bit more this summer. Didn't get to fish it much because I got it like right at the end, but it's to be a sick bait that I can hopefully add to my arsenal
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah, like
trash up baits.
yeah, like I personally I really like the TK. I think it's
Hmm.
super versatile.
Yeah.
Um, but so is the K9. But my
Hmm.
buddy, uh, Trevor. I don't know if you've ever like watched Spice Camp Fish, but
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of videos.
yeah, he really likes the K9.
Hmm. Yeah, the K9's it's a sick bait, and that 1 to 6, it's like perfect. Like you don't even have to. You literally just do real inputs, and the tip literally just makes that thing dance. It's so
Mm-hmm. What are some of your favorite swim baits to throw then besides like a TK?
sick. TK Metros have been really good. Pretty much TK and Metro, and then just glide baits. I just got a flag. That one's been really good. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't caught a fish on it, but it swims really good. And then let me see. I've started to pour my own soft swim baits, so I'm gonna start using those a little bit this year. They're like 7.8 inch paddle tails, so or like boot tail
Mm-hmm.
style swim baits. So those make pretty sweet. The Oshikana's pretty good. I'm trying to get a couple fish on the bunny this year too. I got a bunny, the
Mm-hmm.
throwback bunny. I hopefully will get a couple fish on that.
You got like the big one or the small one?
Yeah, I got the big one up there.
Okay. Yeah.
Up there. Yeah, I got it for a pretty good deal, so definitely gonna get hopefully a bigger fish on that this year.
Okay. What size flag do you have? Do you have a 255?
I want to get the 255. I got the 170 right now, but I definitely want to get a 255.
Okay. How does like the 170 compare to like the Okasana one?
I think it swims a little bit better. I haven't used the Osakana in a while, but the flag swims really good because it's that really soft plastic, so it just flails, and it's like it just has such a good action with the soft plastic. But Oshikana is still a pretty good one to start. I got probably five Oshikanas off that like hookup tackle buy one get one sale.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been they're both pretty good soft glide baits, but definitely want to get a 255 because those things swim really good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're obviously they don't see much big soft glide baits up here, so that'd be pretty sweet.
For sure, dude. Um, with like with the flags and those soft glides, and even soft like swim baits. Like I got citizens and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um, I always like am super worried about
yeah,
throwing
yeah. I
one
am
and then
too.
a pike just
Mhm.
biting a tail
Yeah,
off, and it's like,
that's
well,
that's what that's what you got to deal with up here in the Midwest.
yeah.
Not a lot of people get it down there in the South, but it's kind of frightening when you have a torpedo lily. I had a I almost lost my TK last summer. I had a pike eat lily boat side at my canoe, and it was mayhem. That pike was flipping everywhere, jumping everywhere. It was very scary, and I thought I was gonna lose my TK, but haven't lost the bait yet. Knock on wood, but hopefully that will not happen for a little bit. I had
Yeah.
Isaac. Isaac lost his handcrafted gill to a pike
No.
when I started fishing with him the first day. It was quite hard, and I got one of the 6-inch gills in there. Pretty spendy. Obviously, they're because they're wood glide baits, but I'd be pretty heartbroken if I ever lost that to a little 15-inch pike.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't be mad if, like, you know, like
Yeah,
a
if
big.
it's a big one, big
Yeah.
ones are sick. I had I was fishing the depth worm, and I caught a pretty big pike this year or last year technically, but um and then I was fishing with Isaac. I think actually that was the second time I fished with Isaac. He lost that handcrafted, but the first time I fished with Isaac, we were on this like big reservoir lake, and there's like this little creek that goes back in the back with like huge bluff walls, and it's like gin clear water, and there's probably like a 40-inch pike just sitting there, and we casted every 10-inch bait we had in our tackle box, and Isaac had it on for 2 seconds, and it popped off, and that thing was gigantic. The head on that thing was probably like imagine a pike built like a muskie. That's what it was, and it
Mm-hmm.
was giant. But yeah, they're sweet when they get pretty big. But yeah, those little torpedoes are not the best thing to catch.
Oh, dude, I've caught like so many just dinky pike on like big swim baits. It's a little
Yeah,
bit. Initially, you're like, oh man, I got like a something good on, and then you
yeah,
pull up and it's like,
yeah.
oh, this is
It's
like a
just a
15
slimy
inch
pike.
pike. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun. And
Oh,
at my cabin, they're infested with those up there, so it's pretty not not. It's pretty common to catch them up there. So
mm-hmm. Well, especially like if I'm in the kayak, like I was fishing a weed line, and I caught just a little pike on Gantarelle,
mm-hmm.
and this isn't going in my net, this isn't going like in the
Yeah,
kayak. I
literally,
was like,
because they will go nuts if
yeah,
they get in the boat.
yeah. I just had my pliers, and I was just like
Yeah, literally, and
try to
that's what you
just
gotta
pop
do.
it off in the water.
That's what you gotta do because those are hook and finger fish most of the time,
Oh,
or
dude.
hook and leg. I've seen.
Oh yeah, I'm just not about that.
Mhm.
I've had too many hooks in the hands already, so I'm not
Yeah,
about it.
I caught a muskie last spring, and I had on a jerk bait, and I had 3 hooks past the barb. I don't know how I got them out safely, but they got out, and like the fish was still attached to the lure, which was pretty scary. It did not feel good when it was moving around, so that was but it actually like I didn't have to do like the braid trick or like anything. I just like pulled them out. I don't know how. It was just in like the meat part of the finger, so it wasn't in any bone, thank God. But yeah, I am very scared of getting a hook in my finger, and I've heard of a lot of horror stories. So
Mm-hmm. The last hook in the finger I got, it was like from my own fault.
hmm
We were fishing this trout lake with my nephew, and I just wanted him to catch fish. I wasn't really paying
hmm
attention. I
yeah,
had like the, I was throwing a jerk bait. I was throwing like a 110 clone that I painted,
uh huh,
and I was just flipping it out, and I was holding it, and I went to flip it, and just like got a treble buried in my thumb.
yeah,
And
that's tough.
dude, two hard yanks on it with like I didn't have a braid, but I had like
Yeah,
paracord. I gave it like two
uh huh.
hard yanks, and it wasn't coming out, and I gave it a third
Yeah,
one,
that's
and it didn't
that's
come
tough.
out.
Yeah, that's scary when it does not come out.
Oh man, I looked at my girlfriend, and I was like,
This,
we gotta
this
go
could be,
somewhere.
yeah, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, I was like, cause normally I've just been able to like rip it out. Oh man, it
Mhm.
was in there. It was deep.
Yeah, I didn't have to. They were past the barb, but it wasn't like deep in there. It was like literally like just past the barb, so it came out pretty easy. But when I looked down and I had 3 hooks in my finger, I was pretty scared.
Mm-hmm. The uh, the last pike that I caught before icing was on this bait.
hmm
So there's a draw that I painted in a rainbow
Uh,
trout.
that's
Since we
pretty sweet color.
Yeah, so since we have a lot of trout out here,
Uh-huh.
um, big blow up, 9-inch bait is like a 15-inch pike.
Yeah, that's what they do around here.
Oh man, yeah, I just not impressed, but I got a pink lemonade metro, so I'm gonna try to go to the river with my buddy and like fish for smallies. That'll be
Yeah,
like a
those that
cool
pink
trip.
lemonade. The Metro is. Have you tried the Metro before?
No, I just
It
got it this winter.
it it gets bit. If you, I personally like gliding it too, but if on the burn and stopping that thing with smallies, they hammer it. It's crazy how much bites you get on that bait.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's definitely one of the fishiest glides with the TK that I fish personally.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What color metro do you got? Do you got the pink
I
lemonade?
got that. I think it's either Colorado. I think it's Colorado Customs, the
Oh, okay.
bass one that she did.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Colorado Customs. I might be mistaken, but it was that baby bass color, and it looks really good.
Okay, that's a fishy color. Okay,
Yeah.
so me personally, for the Midwest, I feel like some colors that I feel are underrated. I would say baby bass, and I would say yellow perch are like
Yeah.
underrated
Uh-huh.
imitators.
Yeah. I also like those I haven't fished a resin one, but Isaac likes the resins like bone colors. I like the queen personally. That's my favorite TK color because I love just seeing that thing. Just you can see it swimming in the water, and you just see it absolutely get just murked by a largie or like a smallie. So I like I like bright colors usually, but I'll go for a metro that is like a good like that bluegill that they dropped like a few weeks ago, months ago maybe. That one looked really sick. That bluegill color, that was dope.
Mm-hmm. With with where you guys are at in Wisconsin,
Mhm.
like what's your water clarity like on the lakes around you?
It's pretty clear, I'd say. I live like 10 minutes from the St. Croix River. It's like a little bit off the Mississippi, and that's a really good fishery. It's like because my trout stream goes into that river,
Mm-hmm.
and that's um a good spot where it is, but it's pretty clear, I'd say. Not really much dirty. My grandparents' house, they live on the Wisconsin River or like a lake on the Wisconsin River, and that's like pretty chocolate milk up there. But and then at my other cabin, it's like gin clear, so that's really fun with big largies up there. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's pretty clear up here around there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got this one particular reservoir that's super deep in some spots, but
Mhm.
super clear. So you can see, I don't know, 15, 20 feet down to the bottom in some of these spots,
Mhm. Yeah.
which is cool, but it's also frustrating because it's
Yeah,
like
it is frustrating when you see a
yeah,
big fish
yeah,
just
it's
chilling.
like I see this big like
Yeah,
25-inch trout and it's
yeah.
following my stuff, but it's
Mhm.
you know not committing.
Once they see you, it literally will go lockjaw.
Mm-hmm. But for some of these like trout areas, you can throw some of those glides. Like I've caught trout on a 115,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
I want to try get a 115 and try for trout.
mm-hmm, yeah. Then I got a couple other, you know, more finesse glides like
Mhm.
York casting. They got the nugget.
Yeah, that's what I want to try also is the nugget for some trout and some smallies that because they just smash that thing up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then I'm throwing. Even so, like the Gracely baits. I got a
Mhm.
finesse gill and I got a finesse shad. I throw
Mhm.
that on my jerkbait rod.
Yeah, I watched your Gracie Bates episode, and I definitely want to maybe get one of those the finesse ones because that'd be really good for smallies up here. Because I mostly mainly fish smallies around here because I live right next to the river, so might as well. But I'm a smallie fisherman at heart,
Mm-hmm.
and it and it's classic river smallies up here too, so you just can't beat it.
Oh, for sure. Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I've never caught a smallmouth.
Oh, there. if you come up here for like the throwback tournament or something, we can get you on some good smallies.
Mm-hmm.
They're so fun. Like the ones by me that are like 10 minutes away from me, you'll set the hook and it's will be a probably a two. It's not even that. It's a big one, but it's not like for us. It's not too big. It's not like a giant. It'll be like a 2 to 3 pounder, and it'll literally because the ones by me have those giant tails. Like the tails like way bigger than their whole body. So they'll just sit there in the current, and you'll just literally be sitting there dead weight, and it's just healing drag. It's insane. It's so
Mm-hmm.
fun. But yeah, smallies are definitely my favorite fish to catch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that like that medium rod, like
Mhm.
it's on a CRB, like one of their color series
Yeah.
blanks.
Uh huh. Yeah.
7 foot. It's like a quarter to 3/4 ounce. But
Hmm.
yeah, so like some of those glides, like the finesse shad, is
Yeah.
like too heavy for it.
Yeah. A little overpowered, but it's still
Oh,
really good.
it's like perfect as long as you're not like trying to like
Yeah. Unlike
really
yeah. Uh huh.
like give her the onion or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm. Perfect
you're
for
gonna be
just pitching and stuff.
oh yeah, if you just lob cast it, it's like
Hmm.
perfect and
Yeah.
it's just loads up so good and it's perfect for
Yeah. Just perfect for those little glide baits.
mm-hmm. And yeah, and you're still like sensitive and can feel stuff. And it throws a spinner bait really good too. I like throwing a spinner bait on it as well.
Hmm. Yeah. I want to try those mega bass spinner baits. I've heard those are pretty good. I've seen a lot of people catch good ones on it.
Mm-hmm. That's like that's like when I'm going out fishing and I don't like when I'm fishing for myself, I don't have like a ton of I either don't have a ton of time or
Hmm.
I this will be like I don't do many trips just for myself.
Yeah. Uh huh.
So it's like a confidence bait, like a jig or a Texas rig, a
Hmm.
spinner bait, and then a swim bait of some sort.
Yeah.
And they're not like following or hitting a spinner bait, they're probably
Hmm.
not gonna hit a swim bait in my opinion.
Yeah. Hmm.
So it's like, all right, I will not like concede to throwing a Ned rig. I will drag a big
Yeah.
jig or a
Uh
Texas
huh.
rig.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with a bunch of JDM plastics the last year, and I've found like the bellows gill is really good bait. Um, that Depths Kinku 7.8 inch. That's my deal. I love that worm. That thing. I caught so many big smallies on that this year. But yeah, I've been dabbling with the JDM plastics, and I haven't really gone back. It's been
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta get more bellow skill. I was one of the last times I was able to go out. That's I was just catching like some small largies, but
really fun.
that was the only thing that they were hitting that day because they'd
Yeah,
follow my spinner bait but not commit.
yeah, they smoke that bellows gill. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's sweet.
Yeah, it's very soft though. I only was able to get like a couple
Yeah.
fish out of one of
Yeah,
them.
I get them straight from Japan, so I get them a little cheaper, so it's not that much of a hit to the $10 pack in the USA. So
Oh
it's
man.
pretty nice to get them straight from Japan, and then get some. You might only get one color choice, but I'd rather get them for $5 than $10 here.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty
And
nice.
yeah, so since a lot of our water's like really clear, like I was doing like more natural,
Yeah.
like Alton Jones. I was using like one of his like bluegill colors, and it
Uh huh.
was perfect.
Yeah, I got this new. I think it's called Horror eBay or something, and it's like a pink with like black like glitter in it. It looks really good, and my first fish on it was a 3 pound smallie. It was
Oh, that's sweet. I
good.
wanna try out their the bellow stick too. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I want to get the 8 inch version of that. I've heard they're really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
G Crack makes some good stuff. Their bug pea is really good too. I tried
oh,
that.
okay.
That's a really good bait.
I don't know. I just kind of like so like before like I was like got introduced to G crack and whatever. Um, favorite creature bait is missile baits D bomb because I just like the, I don't know how it is with the soft
The shape
plastic
of
with,
it,
yeah, like I don't even know what you'd call it, like the rings that come
the
out. Yeah,
ribs, yeah, like
yeah.
the ribs of it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. It's just, it just does it for me. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. The rib baits are pretty sick.
Hmm. Um, well, getting a little bit back to your rod building.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to, or have you had anybody like requesting travel rods?
Um, I have talked to a couple of people about travel rods, but it's just finding a blank that can do. I know NSD has a couple, but it's just wait times with that. I don't know. I'm gonna get it, and they don't go on sale either. So investing a pile of money into travel blanks and not getting them for a while would be pretty hard. But hopefully, Striker comes out with a travel rod soon, and then I'll just use that. But might have to try an NFC one and see how that goes. But I've always wanted to try to build a travel rod like the Daily or something like that. Um, but just trying to find a blank is kind of hard for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of the boat that I'm in because I want like a, it's like, well, one kind of deciding what I would want to build first, whether
Yeah,
conventional swim bait or BFS, because I like to do a lot of things.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's just finding a blank because I'd want like
yeah,
a 3 or 4 piece, and
yeah. Me too.
but build building a, so I had to like really look up. It's like even with the 2 piece rod that I built, I was like, how do you do a 2 piece rod?
Yeah,
And
because
it's
you have
like,
to find the spine for both of them. Yeah,
yeah, for
because I built a
each
fly
one.
rod, and you have to find a spine for every single like part of it, and that was, I mean, it wasn't that difficult, but you have to get it like lined up right and everything. But yeah, you have to find the spine for every single little piece of that rod, which is a lot different than building a one piece rod, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that'll be one of my next builds for like a personal rod is doing like a travel rod because we like to, oh, my girlfriend and I, we like to travel around, and the last couple of places we went have been, you know, like the Rockies and like the Grand Tetons National
Yeah.
Park, and
Uh huh.
that's trout fishing and
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah, I definitely want to build hopefully a travel rod this year because I'm trying to go down to see Sebastian down there in Texas and
Mm-hmm.
like go down to Florida and stuff. So having a travel rod that I can take down there and throw like swim baits and conventional stuff would be pretty
Okay, so do you follow or are you familiar with ND Yak Angler?
sweet. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh man, that dude. So he has nice rods. He has like his
Yeah.
St.
Uh
Croix
huh.
or whatever, and but he's like, oh yeah, this rod's rated to 3/4 ounce, but he's throwing Sensei swim baits like squirrel
Yeah.
on it. I
Uh
was
huh.
like, and that's a 4 ounce bait.
Yeah, it's
He's like,
crazy.
he's like, yeah, as long as you don't whip it, you're fine. He's
Yeah,
like,
as long as you don't whip it.
yeah, you just gotta like lob cast it out. I'm like,
Yeah, a lot of cast it.
he's like,
Yeah, it's
I'm like,
crazy.
holy smokes, dude! Like you're
Because
really,
he only runs, I think, 3 rods on his kayak, maybe
yeah. He doesn't run a
around
lot
there.
of rods,
Yeah,
and I think he's like mainly running like Daiwa reels.
yeah. He has the because he has that he loves that Zillion. I have the JDM version of that one. That one's a sweet reel. And then I just got the HD version, the JDM HD. That one's a sweet TK and Metro reel. It's like perfect for river rat. But yeah, those Zillions are sweet. But you can definitely get them cheaper on Amazon from Japan.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I've switched besides my BFS um reel. I've switched all of my reels to. I have mainly Shimano's and I have like one Daiwa reel. I have a
Yeah,
Tatula.
the only Daiwas I have are spinning reels, and then the Zillions, and then I'm straight Shimano. Got the Antares, Monster Drive, and then a couple Corrados, and that's my deal right now.
Mm-hmm. I just with like how like serious I am about fishing, and with um everything like that. I feel like it's worth putting in more money to get
Yeah,
something super
it is.
quality.
Mhm.
I just can't go wrong with
Yeah,
Japanese reels.
yeah, you can't. I love my JDM stuff.
Yeah, that's like a whole other rabbit hole you can get
Yeah,
down.
it is a rabbit hole. I've been down that rabbit hole. I watch Lily JDM videos at like 3 in the morning, and it's pretty cool to see like the fisheries they have over there and like how different it is from over here. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool.
Oh, for sure, dude. Oh, one thing that you touched on. So, are you're right-handed?
I'm left. Well, I am more dominant with my right hand in like normal life, but I don't know why, but I just fish with my left hand like all the time. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when I was living down in Florida, I was doing a turbine inspection at this guy's house, and he
Yeah.
was building custom fishing rods and was doing
Mm,
the acid wrap and was doing all this cool
yeah.
stuff.
Uh huh.
And he was like, oh yeah, he's like, he's like, I'm right-handed, but I use left-handed reels. He was because he was like, it's fucking stupid to switch hands back and forth
Yeah.
after
That
casting.
that's what I like started off with those push buttons that were right hand because my dad and grandpa push buttons to this day. So I
Mm-hmm.
started off with that, and I don't know why when I made the switch, I think my grandpa just taught me my first baitcaster, and like it was left-handed, so I just got used to that, and I just never switched back. I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like so with well, it's like very noticeable if you're doing like BFS fishing
Yeah.
because you might be at like a small stream situation,
Hmm.
but yeah, part of you know BFS is being able to cast, like being able to like get into a spot faster
Yeah.
than fiddling with the spinning reel.
Hmm.
And I don't know, it just clicked with me after that old dude said it. Is like, oh, it's fucking stupid switching hands, and I'm like,
Yeah. I personally
it's like that makes sense.
like I personally, if I use like Isaac Fish's right hand and he like here try this like rod out or something, and I'm like I literally feel so weird like twitching a bait with my left hand. Like it feels so weird. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can't do it.
Yeah. Oh, I
Like
really.
I can fish it if I have to, but like it feels so different because I've literally been fishing a baitcaster since I was in like probably sixth or seventh grade, so it's
Mm-hmm.
just come accustomed to me.
Oh yeah, it was really different. Like switching over to um, using my left hand to reel versus my
Yeah.
right hand. But it's like, well, it just makes sense because, like baseball, you're throwing with your dominant hand. Like
Hmm.
guitar, you're strumming or playing
Yeah, that's what I
with your
say too.
dominant
But
hand.
every time you say the left hand, they're like, "Oh, that's the wrong hand. Righties all day." I'm like, I'm using my dominant hand for twitching everything, so I got it pretty down right now.
Well, even when you're pitching, it's like your
Yeah,
pitching is so much faster. Like going
yeah, it
dominant
is.
hand.
Uh huh. Like I don't think I could even like pitch good with my left. I'd probably drop the rod honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I've gotten into it a couple of times with people. It's like it just makes sense this way. Like my nephew, it's like he's doing it, where he's swapping hands back and forth when you're
Hmm.
casting. And I'm like, it's like just focus. Just like I'm gonna get you left-handed reels.
Hmm. You gotta get them when they're young, because they'll do it. That's like what happened to me with when I was in like sixth or seventh grade. Now it's just permanent. Now I can't even like fish a right hand reel without switching or doing something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, one thing that you should like really look at for smallies is I had a guy on uh, Hatch Match Baits.
Yeah, I was looking at those. Those are pretty sweet. He actually followed me on Instagram a couple days ago, so I'm gonna definitely get in touch with him. He said he might get a custom rod that he was talking about to Michigan Bassman, so we'll have to get that dialed. But yeah, he has some pretty sweet baits, and the silicone because I personally fish that little that not nag draft, but the dark sleeper, the
Mm-hmm.
BFS one. I fish that for smallies, and having one that be like silicone would be a game changer.
Oh yeah, I just got my order in of the baits, and I messaged him. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
like, can I get some smelts as well?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's gonna just murder some trout out
Yeah.
here.
There's gonna be some. I'm gonna maybe try that for trout also, and then smallies, of course. Like they'll get on a soft bait bite that I was on. Like they'll eat the depth worm, and then they'll eat the dark sleeper like really good. So I can definitely get some huge fish on
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely check those out, especially for
that. Mhm.
smallie fishing because that's kind of
Yeah.
what they're designed for.
Yeah. Those Great Lake smallies.
Mm-hmm. Nah, that'd be sick, dude. Um, well, why don't we wrap things up a little? Why
Mhm.
don't you tell the people where they can find you and
So I have my Instagram. I got TikTok. All Magee custom rods. It might come up as on my TikTok. I accidentally made my I got logged out on my first account, so it's Magee custom rods with a Z, I think. And but it still should come up if you just search up Magee custom rods. But yeah, the TikTok, and then my YouTube might be making a separate YouTube for my Magee custom account, but right now it's double digit hunter, and then Instagram just Magee custom rods, and then I got the website going. Don't have any rods on there right now. Trying to work on the river rat, and just once I get all these rods built out, it'll be back on there. But hopefully be doing some rod drops in the next year or so, and yeah, just working and keep building right now. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
heck yeah, dude. That's awesome. I really appreciate you coming
Mhm.
on, Nolan, taking time
Yeah,
out of your schedule to do this.
yeah. Thank you for letting me on.
Oh
Fun
yeah,
time.
yeah, it definitely was. We'll have to talk more sometime.
Yeah,
Maybe have you on
definitely.
another episode once you get things rolling.
Yeah, definitely.